Alright everyone, it's time to show the results of the first round of the Fido Festival. Remember that in this tournament, Cinder won't have the main powers. I'm just clarifying this because some people were concerned about it when she was facing John on the first round. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you will know the next matchups for the next video. Alright, now for the first matchup. White moves on to the second round, having 62% of the vote over Emerald. Next one will be Cinder moving on to the second round, having 94% of the vote over Jean Arc. The next matchup, Ruby Rose, will be moving on to the second round as well, having 70% of the vote over Mercury. Next matchup, in this would have Pura Nikos moving to the second round, having 94% of the vote over Flint Cole. Next one on the list is Roman Tortwick, moving on to the second round, having 90% of the vote over Professor Lionheart. The next one is Yatohashi, moving on to the second round, having 73% of the vote over Scarlet David. The next matchup is Nora Valkyrie, moving on to the second round, having 92% of the vote over Neon. The next one is Winter Snee, moving on to the second round, having 78% of the vote over Ilya. Fox as well will be moving on to the second round, having 66% of the vote over Fiona. The next matchup will have Morrow moving on to the second round, having 57% of the vote over Sienna. The next one will be Vine moving on to the second round, having 55% of the vote over Gira. The next one will be Coco moving on to the second round, having 55% of the vote over Lai Rin. May as well will be moving on to the second round, having 59% of the vote over Neptune. The non-surprising one, Velvet, will be moving on to the second round, having 95% of the vote over Karen Winchester. The next matchup will be Neo moving on to the second round, having 97% of the vote, crushing Harriet. The most surprising, Yang, will be moving on to the second round, having 56% of the vote over Clover Evie. The next matchup will be Tak moving on to the second round, having 66% of the vote over Robin. The next one is Blake moving on to the second round, having 87% of the vote over Arthur Watt. Another surprising one, Adam will be moving on to the second round, having 63% of the vote over James Ironwood. The next matchup will be Maria moving on to the second round, having 70% of the vote over Sun Wukong. Now, the last matchup, another surprising one to me, Elm would be moving on to the second round, having 86% of the vote over Rhodes. Alright, those are the results of the first round. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can see the next video coming soon of round 2. Make sure to go down to the comments and tell me which person you're rooting for to win this tournament overall. And see you all in the next video.